All right, so get this right. The Department of Justice is recommending that Google, actually divest from its Chrome browser.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe that?
It's wild.
Talk about shaking things up.
Good.
We're going to dive deep into an excerpt from this recent article about it. But this antitrust case, it could really change how we use the internet,
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about Chrome here.
Yeah.
The browser that I think, 65% of people globally use?
It's huge.
I mean, that's most of us.
Yeah.
And we rely on these browsers for everything now. I mean, just think about your own day to day. You're checking your bank account.
Oh, yeah.
You're catching up with friends, reading the news. I mean, you're even listening to this deep dive right now.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like the portal to all things digital. But hold on. What does divest even mean in this context? Would Google not be able to even make Chrome anymore?
So divesting in this case probably means that Google wouldn't be able to actually own Chrome anymore. So they might have to spin it off as a separate company, completely independent of Google.
Wow. So no more Chrome just automatically being on all the Android phones then.
Yeah, it's still a bit unclear exactly what would happen, but the Department of Justice, it seems like they really want to break that tight connection that Chrome has to all of Google's other services.
Right.
Particularly search.
Right. Because I do notice that it just seems like Chrome is always the default option everywhere.
Exactly.
So what's the issue there? Why is that a bad thing?
Well, so the Department of Justice is concerned that, Google is using its search dominance to kind of unfairly promote Chrome and basically squash any competition, before it can even get off the ground.
Okay. So how exactly is Google supposedly doing that? What does that look like, giving Chrome an unfair advantage?
So think about it. Google search, it's the first place people go to for information. So if they're subtly nudging you towards Chrome. Yeah.
Through pre-installed apps or default settings, even just how search results are displayed, that can be incredibly powerful. It makes it very difficult for smaller browsers, like Firefox or DuckDuckGo to even compete.
Right.
They just don't have that same level of influence.
Right. I mean, this isn't just about browsers, is it? It feels like big tech is really under the microscope. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the recent antitrust probes into Facebook, Amazon,
right.
This whole case against Google. It's part of this larger trend of governments actually trying to rein in the power of these giant tech companies.
Yeah.
Because there is a real concern that they are stifling innovation and ultimately limiting our choices as consumers.
Right. Right. So let's imagine, best case scenario, Chrome does get spun off. What does that actually mean, for you listening right now? Is this the moment that Firefox, Edge, Safari, they finally get to step out of the shadows? I mean, it's possible. It definitely is. More competition. It could lead to this burst of innovation. You can imagine all these browsers, suddenly battling it out to win you over as a user, right? Offering all these cutting edge features and faster speeds.
Yeah.
Maybe even better privacy protections.
Okay. But see, here's my concern though. That's exactly what led to all those compatibility issues back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Remember you'd have to download different versions of Flash just to watch a video. I don't know if I want to go back to that.
That's fair. That's a valid concern. And fragmentation, it could lead to some, headaches like compatibility issues, maybe even security vulnerabilities. But it's also important to remember that the internet, it's evolved a lot, since then. We've got better standards now, more robust development processes. And frankly, people are savvier now about online security.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So it really does feel like a turning point. It's like when Internet Explorer was king.
Yeah.
Right? And then everything changed.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, this potential Chrome divestiture, it's a huge deal. It's not just about one browser. It's about the balance of power, really, in the entire digital world.
And the question is, will this lead to a better internet for everyone? More choice. It doesn't always equal better quality. So is this a win for users or a potential step backward? It's something we all need to be thinking about and definitely something to watch closely.
Absolutely.